I'm a top 10 IBJJF ranked black belt, and I've competed in over 330 matches in my grappling career, and over 80 of those were at black belt. And I still get nervous before every match. So if you're waiting for the nerves to go away, they probably won't, but there is a way to handle them. Over time, I've built a simple system for dealing with competition nerves, and they can be summarized with the acronym NERVE, N-E-R-V-E. Normalize, expect, reframe, validate, and execute. If you understand these 5 things, your nerves aren't going to go away, but they'll stop being a problem. First, normalize that competition anxiety. What you're feeling before the match is not weakness or unpreparedness. It's biology. Your brain activates a fight or flight response, releasing adrenaline and cortisol, which actually increases your reaction time, strength, and focus. This might look like you feel like you need to be pacing back and forth, your hands are shaking, you're sweating in places you don't usually sweat, you feel like you just can't breathe. It's because your body thinks you're about to do something important, and you are. What you're about to do is not the same thing that you're going to do in a training room. The feeling of anxiety that you have is normal because what you're about to do is abnormal, at least compared to your normal everyday training routine. Second, expect the nerves. Most people don't lose because they're nervous. They lose because they didn't expect how intense the nervousness would feel, and they let it overcome them. Research shows that anxiety feels worse when athletes interpret it as a threat instead of a challenge, even though the physical symptoms are the same. Time we reach for a new goal or we try to face an opponent with a level that's higher than we've ever faced before, we should feel a little uncomfortable because we're being challenged more than usual. When I'm competing at this level at adult black belt right now, I don't walk in hoping to feel calm or very zen about it. I walk in expecting to feel uncomfortable because I know that I'm about to be challenged. It's very rare in my day-to-day life to be challenged at the intensity and level that I would at, for example, the European Championships. And so I don't expect to walk onto the mat of the European Championships as if it's my day-to-day life, right? Third, reframe that competition anxiety. Nerves aren't something to eliminate, they're something to use. This is commonly known as the Yerkes-Dodson law. Your ability to perform increases up to a point, and then it drops based on how calm or aroused you are, right? So arousal being the level of nervousness and anxiety that you're feeling. If you're too calm, oftentimes you'll find that you're too slow or just not doing your best. If you're too anxious, you might panic and either go too hard or shut down completely. You want that middle zone where you're healthily challenged. I personally had this problem when I was facing athletes that I believed were at an elite level that was far beyond my capability. And I would shut down and just lose the match right away. Part of addressing this issue is finding opponents and tournaments where you are challenged the right amount, right? It's not that you necessarily don't want to be calm, but you definitely want to be controlled. You want to use that nervous energy to rise to the challenge. Number 4, validate your process. Confidence doesn't reliably predict performance. Preparation does. Think about the most confident blue belt you know. Is that blue belt's confidence commensurate with their skill? I wouldn't necessarily ask myself, how am I feeling today? I would ask myself, did I train enough the past couple weeks or months to prepare for the technicality and intensity of this tournament? Did I take care of my body so that I am physically rested and also physically equipped for the level of this tournament? Have I been here before? Have I met hard challenges in a grappling scenario, either in the training room or in previous competitions where I've beaten someone that I didn't think I could beat? Or have I had a really close match and still was able to come out on top? Was I able to previously manage someone with my opponent's intensity or style? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter how I feel. I know my body is going to perform under pressure because it has practiced doing so many times in so many different circumstances. How many times have I gone into training or other competitions in suboptimal conditions and still had a good practice? And if I haven't done it successfully enough times, maybe it's not time for me to win this tournament yet. Finally, execute, but execute something specific. This is one of the most important ones. which is that anxiety often pulls your brain into the future, right? It thinks about outcomes, winning, losing, what will happen after then. Performance often improves when you focus on immediate, controllable actions. Things like starting the match, grip fighting, where you want to be in the first 2 minutes of the match. I try not to think about the match as 10 minutes. Think about it as the first 20 seconds, and then after the first 20 seconds, it's the next 20 seconds. And after the next 20 seconds, it's the next 20 seconds. And eventually, after 30 of those 20 seconds, 10 minutes will be over. This is very much about reframing your experience as focusing on the process versus focusing on the outcomes. Some of my best performances, I had a terrible night's sleep, felt terrible beforehand, and didn't even want to compete that day. Some of my worst performances, I felt calm and confident based on things that were not reality. Competition nerves aren't going to go away. There are very few exceptional athletes who don't experience competition nerves or say that they don't. Oftentimes, those are the 1% or 0.1% of top athletes whose level is just so much higher than everyone else that maybe the nerves don't play a factor. I would not know because I'm not in the 0.1%. But I do know that even competing at a high level, that competition nerves aren't going to go away. You can just become someone who's able to perform anyway.